There's the drinking culture, there's the culture of tequila, and then there's the culture of the people behind tequila. And I think for me, it taps into everything I love and the ability to share that with other people. My name is Jaime Salas. I am the head of legacy and advocacy for Proximo Spirits, and I've spent my career immersing myself in all things agave. Welcome to the Taste Collective. Often I'm asked, Jaime, what is it you love about tequila? And what is it about 1800 in particular that makes it special? And for me, I think it's about the care and intention that goes into every step of the process. Tequila in particular, I feel, is a convivial spirit. It brings everybody together beyond just the taste, but ultimately where they come from. I think to be able to speak to your origin story, there's no better conduit to do that with. The focus is what's in that glass. It's also providing this opportunity to settle in, relax, really dive into life. So 1800 really marks an important time in our history. It's around the time that our family was granted the first license to commercially distill, distribute, and market our product around the world. This very thing that's emblematic and representative of Mexico. How do we get it out to the masses? And more importantly, what are we getting out? And I think that's where process comes into play. So in 1967, we formally created the world's first añejo. And it was an opportunity for us to get a tequila out there that was aged, which at the time was unheard of. So for us, it starts with the agave plant first and foremost. That is at the center of everything that we do. Agave is one of the most terroir-driven ingredients in the world. We grow ours about 3/4 of a mile above sea level in pristine growing conditions. The mid-occidental central part of Mexico, Tequila, Mexico. We get a lot of sun, intermittent rainfall throughout the rainy season, which lasts about 3 to 4 months. The higher elevation, the warmer temperatures, this intermittent rain, and of course the volcanic rich mineral soil all contribute to its local terroir and ultimately how the plant conveys all that flavor and all that nuance. We use 100% Blue Weber agave harvested at peak taste by our expert jimadores. We have agriculturalists. While you have the agave farmers, you also have the jimadores. The jimadores know when that plant is ready to be extracted from that ground, when those hijuelos or those baby shoots are ready to be taken from the plant and replanted elsewhere. They have the distinct responsibility to know when the plant is at its peak. And that's usually through visual cues, the spotting, the size of the leaves. It's all of these little factors, these markers that jimadores are essentially looking for. And we employ more jimadores and agave farmers than anyone else in the industry. It takes a village. We have thousands of farmers and agave harvesters, all with their own distinct function. It's imperative that we have somebody that knows how to take care of it, knows how to cultivate it, knows when to reap the plants or the hearts. We like to call them piñas because they resemble a pineapple, and send it on over to the distillery in order to start our crafting process. So whether you use slow roast, fast roast, all of these things, of course, become variables and, of course, become very much influential in terms of your finished product. And for us, we love to slow roast. So we go into ovens, we slow roast. After that, we essentially mill the roasted agave plants. We take that extracted juice and we put it into fermentation. Not everybody does this. But what's important to note is it's how you do each step and how you manage each step individually. For us, fermentation is where we get most of the flavor that comes out. So the fact that we use our own propagated yeast, for example, is another huge point, right? And again, intention. What type of yeast are we using? We cultivate and we propagate our own. After that, the length of the fermentation, how do you evolve those flavors? How do you extract as much as possible? And then, of course, distillation. Copper pot stills, in our case, really brings about this very complex, albeit very vegetal, bright spirit that now becomes a foundation for everything that we do moving forward. Oftentimes people think, oh, you barrel age a tequila and that's it, goes into a bottle. But the fact is you can barrel age it, you can apply different char levels, use different types of oak barrels. And then how we blend those flavors together, how we take one distillate that was rested in French oak, one that was American, blend it, and perhaps then put it into a port cask, perhaps put it into a cognac cask. all of those steps, right, meticulously done with intention are what ultimately creates this breadth of flavor. So you have your blancos, which is 0 to 60 days. They can potentially come in contact with oak. Your repos are 2 months up to a year, typically. And then añejo is anything over a year up to 3 years. Anything beyond 3 years in contact with oak then becomes an extra añejo. A reposado could be 2 months or just under 12 months. So there are gamuts of time. I like to say, so we're not quite like other spirits where it's the minimum age, but rather the minimum sort of rung of times. 1800 Blanco is 100% blue agave, slow roasted. We use proprietary yeast strains, and then we twice distilled. It is simply agave, water, and yeast, nothing else. Our 1800 Reposado is essentially our Blanco tequila that goes into American and French oak barrels and is rested for approximately 2 to 4 months. We apply a high char to these barrels in order to extract all the wood sugars, and then we blend it together before bottling. Our 1800 Añejo is essentially our Blanco tequila that is aged in both American and French oak barrels for approximately 12 to 16 months, at which point we blend those two expressions together, making our 1800 world's first Añejo. 1800 Cristalino is an Añejo that's been aged in both American and French oak barrels for 14 to 16 months that is then blended together and put into a port wine barrel for finishing. It rests for approximately 2 to 4 months, and then we apply a special charcoal filtration, making it a Cristalino. Without a quality process, you won't have great tequila. That's why we take great attention to detail every step of the way. Check out the rest of our Taste Collective masterclasses to get a better understanding of your own taste.